Yes, Bitcoin is $6,159 per Bitcoin, which is pretty much the highest that I've ever seen it, but it's been higher than that actually. And right now, checking in with BitConnect. BitConnect is currently performing at it's pretty low. Its payout today was 0.32%, but it's okay. That's just because I think that the price of Bitcoin was going up so high today that it performed not as well. But then also there is 1.88% pending that should be coming out here tomorrow that's on the payout. So I think the reason for that is because Bitcoin hit a new record high today and it went over $6,300 for a brief moment. So this is something that's never been seen before, and it's something that I think within the next few months is gonna, I don't know, I guess kind of become old news, if you will. So $6,300 right now, that's the new record high. And right now it's October 30th, 2017, and I wonder what this is going to look like 1 year from now, if we're going to be considering $6,300 for a whole Bitcoin cheap. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit about that. $6,300 is something that's completely unheard of, unprecedented, and that's also why you're going to hear a lot of other people that are like looking at intrinsic value in other areas of assets like that. You're going to start to hear them say that this is definitely in a bubble. They have the right to say that because this is huge and it's hard to support all of the people that are buying Bitcoin right now. But I also believe that Bitcoin is providing such new and beautiful opportunities for everybody across the planet that it's okay. It's just fine. And even having just a tiny little bit right now, holding on to it is going to turn into a big amount later. So, anyways, something else that I think is really cool is that Singapore is in on cryptocurrencies. Singapore says that it's not going to regulate cryptocurrencies, and so Singapore, you definitely have my thumbs up on my approval here on Sovereign Starseed. I am so grateful that just to end up hearing that Singapore is going to end up having um, cryptocurrencies. They're open minded to it, and it's a place now that I want to go on vacation. So, right on. Thank you, Singapore, for being open minded about that. At the same time, it's important to recognize that Vietnam is closed minded about it. So, Vietnam had just announced that what it's going to do here today is that it's going to ban cryptocurrencies. So basically, there wasn't a lot of people using cryptocurrencies in Vietnam, and before it got there, the officials decided to ban it. And now these people in this country aren't going to be able to participate through normal means in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, at least at the time. So it's sad, and like I hope that at some point they will end up reversing their stance, and I honestly believe that at some point they may have to revert their stance on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, just with the way that the world is going, just with the way that this stuff is being adopted, baby. So Vietnam is closed-minded, at least for the moment. I expect them to turn around on it. U.S. government must stay out of Bitcoin, says a former lawmaker, and that former lawmaker also happens to be former presidential candidate Ron Paul. And basically, he thinks that it should be considered as money. And he said, if people want to use it, the government should stay out of it. And so, although Paul mentions two major concerns with cryptocurrencies, the possibility of fraud and government oversight. For instance, he believes there's already too much investigation on existing cryptocurrencies. However, he expresses anxiety this applies to crypto assets. Even though his indecision in some aspects, he feels that blockchain technology has a lot of future to it. Remarkably, Rand Paul's son began to accept Bitcoin this year for campaign donations. Therefore, the practice is approval by election oversight groups. So, basically from this, it's basically saying that, like, Bitcoin is something that's beautiful, and it's going to be hard for the government to end up being able to get into it and still have everybody's buy in. So there is the possibility that the U.S. government could get into cryptocurrencies, and I foresee, something like that might happen soon. And if that does happen, that it would be pretty much one of the biggest things that's going to crash the price of Bitcoin, is if the U.S. government starts to get involved and starts to make moves on it. And it's hard for me to say what the moves of our current government would be just because of the moves that it's already made. So yeah, it's very interesting to see this because I could foresee that, like, if something was to happen with the U.S. government saying that they were going to ban Bitcoin or put some laws on it or something like that, then that would make the price crash hard and probably for a little while, but it would recover and we would move on. We would move along. But the thing is that yeah, it's going to be interesting. So Ron Paul's talking about how we need to be staying out of it, and so of course, Ron Paul, you get my thumbs up, and I love the fact that that you're seeing the true potential of what this is and how it's transcending our current governments. So, other than that, another thing that's really interesting to think about is that the government of Iran is preparing to adopt Bitcoin for use inside the country. And it's because President Trump is taking a hostile approach to the Islamic Republic. And it says, is Iran preparing to bypass new sanctions with Bitcoin? Now, this is interesting, guys. This is something that, I take all of this information here, all the political happenings, everything that I've been reporting on, it still could be propaganda. It could be one way or the other. If you have any comments or anything like that, throw it in a chat. But like, I don't really end up trying to end up putting anything one way or the other on this. Sir Francis Bacon always said that you shouldn't believe anything blindly, but you should always just weigh and consider the different options. And that's just what I'm doing here. Is I'm just looking at and observing what's happening and just seeing kind of like the moves of how it's happening. And even if this is propaganda, it's good to see how it could be affecting others. So, government of Iran is doing this, and so like, I wonder how the U.S. government would react to that. I wonder how President Trump would end up uh, reacting to Iran just being like, all right, fine, we're just going to use Bitcoin instead. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's what's happening there. And then what I think is kind of cool about cryptocurrencies and what I think is important is that DADA is, I think it was like yes, it's a collaborative platform for artists, and it's in New York City. It announces to introduce the first digital art marketplace using blockchain technology, and this is really cool. So DADA to host its first digital art marketplace using a blockchain. And it says the launch of the marketplace's first digital collection will be titled Creeps and Weirdos. Will be introduced at the Halloween, which will feature 100 unusual Halloween-themed limited edition drawings designed by the artists from all over the world. The unique collections will only be available along with the Ethereum cryptocurrency, and each work will be associated to one of five levels of scarcity. Will be associated to one of five levels of scarcity, ranging from common to extremely rare drawings, pretty much like our games. The launch will take place on Halloween with a great party in New York City. And this is Coinpedia.org putting this up here, so this is like, not quite sure like how much proofreading happened here, but the potential to purchase an original piece of digital artwork with Ethereum might appear like a gimmick at first, but the evolution of technology is innovative for the digital art world. So this is beautiful. Up to date, the digital art world has been evaluated separately from regular traditional fashion physical art in that it was impractical to defend authenticity and fully credit artists. For instance, an authenticated piece of the Mona Lisa is worth $1 billion, but you can purchase a duplicate copy with an affordable price in a museum gift shop. The matter of the digital art world has had proceeds that the analogy that every copy of the Mona Lisa is appreciates the same regardless of originality. Wow, this is a really chopped up article. Sorry guys. But basically what's really cool is that, I see what's going on here, and I just wanted to explain and see it really fast is that DADA is one of the first companies to do this, but I see so many companies doing this where they're going to announce their art on a blockchain, and that way you'll be able to see the original artist and you'll be able to see the credit of who made that, and that's going to be huge going forward. So not only with digital art, we're going to also see it with like digital music. We're going to see it with space exploration is going to start to happen next as well, and that's just something that needs to happen on the planet. So we're going to see these types of revolutions happen, and blockchains are where they're all going to be logged, and cryptocurrencies are how we're going to participate. And that's just pretty much how I see it going forward. If anybody agrees, let me know. Shoot me a message. If anybody has any questions about it, shoot me a message. If you want to talk about this, shoot a message. I actually got a Discord going now. I got a Discord going, and you'll be able to actually click on the link in the YouTube description below, and you'll be able to see that there. And so, yeah, check it out. We'll be able to chat more about this type of stuff, because as it is right now, cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are a great thing to get into. I'm fully invested. I'm invested in multiple projects, multiple products. So take a look at some of my previous videos, and you'll be able to see that. If you want to know more about how to get into these things, just shoot me a message. I'll be happy to help you. And to anybody that already has been subscribing, already has been watching, thank you so much for watching this. Pretty much soon in the future, I'm going to be doing things where we're going to be mixing up cryptocurrencies, and I'm also going to be reading esoteric wisdom. So I'm looking forward to getting some messages from you guys on what kind of subjects you want to hear about, what kind of subjects you want me to read about, because after I read, we're going to have like nice little discussions about this. And so it's going to be fun. So anyways, if you're into it, let me know. Shoot me a message on what you want to know. Well, I'd be glad to talk to you about it. I'd be happy just to talk to you. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to end up getting off here in just a moment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next episode.